All right, we are live for another edition of our weekly Friday market update. Every Friday at 12 o'clock Pacific time, I go over what is actually happening with the Bay Area real estate market. What are some developments that are going on? I share a few of my success stories so that you know what I've been working on, where I've been buying for my clients, where I may have been selling. And lastly, we always look at the market data itself so that you yourself can see on a week-by-week basis what is actually happening with the market. Today is going to be a fairly light day in terms of news. Not a lot of headline articles, not a lot of interesting things to bring up. However, let's use this as a Q&A. So if you have any questions and you're watching this live, feel free to just to write it in the comments below. Whatever your question is, I will be sure to go over it. If you're not able to watch this live, feel free just to leave it in the comments below in the YouTube section or send me a direct message. I'm happy to answer them if it's a specific question. Let's go over what's been going on for this week. What are the headline articles? People still want to live in the Bay Area. Housing market not slowing, even in pandemic. So what's I think always interesting about a lot of these headline articles is that they're always laggards. Everything is always behind. I mean, take a look at this. Look at how old this report is. So in the sense, the report was September 9, so it's just yesterday. But if you take a look at, when there's comments, like look at this individual, Alex Kremen, congratulations, by the way, but he bought a condo last year, initially hesitant to make a large purchase. I mean, this is all super old information. In the third and fourth quarter of 2020, nothing slowed down. Then we moved right into 2021. First quarter was just blowing our minds away, said the realtor, said the agent. But at the end of the day, this is super old, right? I mean, the latest data points is first quarter of 2021. And where are we now? We're at basically was the third quarter, right? I mean, we're already in mid-September. So I want people to always understand when they read the headline articles, first read the headline articles, and then look at exactly like when was the data points? Like what are they referring to? Because the market now is very different than it was last year, than it was earlier this year. Things change. Now they could change for the better, depending on which side you're at, either the buy side or the sell side, or they could just be flat. So it could have been very predictable. So I think it's very important for people to understand, look at the data points, look at exactly what they're referring to. This is super old data, even though it just got posted yesterday. So keep that in mind because generally these news articles are always laggards, like pretty significant laggards when it comes to reporting about what is actually going on with the real estate market. Next, San Francisco's next major skyscraper will break ground in 2022. Pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of developments that are still happening in San Francisco. Like you see a few that are still major skyscrapers that are continuing to be built in the core downtown areas. So do not be surprised as we see a lot more of these very, very big buildings, 61-story mixed use. There's going to be 250,000 square foot office space, quite a bit, 170 condos, and 79,000 square feet of shared amenity space. So it's going to be cool to see. What's also a lot of the developments that are happening in San Francisco is at Yerba Buena Island and Treasure Island. And I actually will be going on a ferry ride. I have a few invites for any of you as a potential buyer that might be interested there. No commitments, but if you're thinking about maybe living on Yerba Buena Island or Treasure Island, and you know of anybody that is considering to be there, move and start as early as next year. So they're cranking it up. And, they have condos readily available. I think it starts at maybe $700 for I think it's a one bed, either a studio or a one bedroom. And so there'll be some that will be coming up early next year, and then it'll be phased out through the year. Treasure Island will be mostly more, I think, 2023. So Treasure Island still got a ways away, and those are going to be multi-year projects. But it's pretty exciting. We haven't had a development on that island in a long, long time, and it has pretty amazing views coming from that angle, and it's very private. So something to be mindful of. If you or anyone you know has anybody that's considering there, let me know. I can invite you to that exclusive ferry tour. That's going to be on Thursday during the day, though. So if you are able to get away from your office during that time, that's the beauty of this remote work, then that may work for you. But this is cool to see. We'll see how this plays out, and it'll probably be up and running. And if it breaks around 2022, probably in 2025, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised for that. Want to share some of the exciting news. Lots of ones impending. Some of them I have not done in recent times, so whether I was on vacation or I just forgot to bring it up last week. This was a recent one. 369 Club Drive, San Carlos. Beautiful. Listed at 3.798 million, 4-bed, 5-bath, 4,900 square feet. This was one of the cheapest price per square feet in San Carlos, and quite frankly, most of the peninsula. So for how big it is, which is great for their family, it worked really well. And crazy views. I mean, like crazy views, like almost views for every single room. Let me check these out. Let's see if they have it here. Every room, lots of light, really nice views. They showed a little bit through the window. So here's a sense from the balcony. So this is pretty much the view because there's nothing in front of you. So it's like that for every room. So pretty wild. Congratulations to my clients. Well-deserved. Been looking for them with them on and off for a year because they weren't in a particular rush. They just say, look, if we found the right property, they'll be ready to move. And fortunately, this one, we actually saw it a while ago. So depending on the pricing, you know, you can see initially it was listed in March for 4.5. So at that point, of course, they priced it too high. And unfortunately, every 1 month, every 2 months, they had declined in price. So it's been great. And, you know, once we saw it at this price, it made a lot of sense, you know, at that level. And we're like, all right, let's make a move. So we got it. And we got it just, I think we got this a day after they made the adjustment. So we jumped right on it, saw the alert, and went forward. This was another one. We just got in contract last night. So congratulations to my clients. Congratulations to my clients. Really happy for them. And they were also on and off, which is not unusual, right? It's normal when things were really hot, especially earlier in this year. They took a break, kind of realigned, figured out what they want to do, where they wanted to live. This happened to pop out. And we made a pretty sweet offer for this. I'll share the story when we close, but super happy for them. They're obviously super happy as well in moving on to this home. So we got in contract last night for this one. This one we actually got in contract a few weeks before, but I forgot to bring it up. And we are going to be closing on this, I believe, next Monday or Tuesday. So it's going to be fairly soon in terms of the closing on this. This is in Communications Hills. I think I must have helped at least 4 or 5 clients now in Communications Hill just in the last 12 months. Super popular. I have great videos of Communications Hill. Check it out on my YouTube channel. I'll try to put on the link here, somewhere here, so that you can see and check out the video yourself. But yeah, really, really cool community. It's going to continue to build over the next decade, basically. However, there's not much new construction left. There's a few more new construction, which is called the Latitude. Those are more condo style. They have like shared access kind of to the garage on the bottom level, but it's all within one building. I think each building has, I think maybe 16 units. I think that's how it was set up. And some have tandem garages. I think some maybe have side by side. I think actually, sorry, I think they're all tandem garages. But there's a few left for that style. Outside of that, you're going to be buying pre-owned ones if you're going to be looking in CAMPBELL Hill. So just something to be mindful of there. We closed yesterday on this one, so we closed early. So that's awesome for them. They got to move in early. 823 Beaver Creek Way in San Jose. I actually met them at when I hosted this open house. They walked in. I told them kind of my thoughts, and we connected well. And I was able to represent them, and now they're on to this new home and to kind of move on with their lives. And what's pretty cool is that these particular clients, their families in town from the East Coast. And it was just perfect timing. They found the place pretty quickly, got in contract, moving in. They'll do some touch-up work, and they'll move on to this beautiful new home. And last but not least, I may have brought it up previously, but I had 2 in contract in Linden. And so that will make it a total of 3 clients that I've helped buy in the Linden, which is a great condo in South San Francisco. As you can see, they're more than 60% sold out. I think they have 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. They have 1 3-bedroom left, but it's I think there's maybe 1 3-bedroom left. What's really cool about this one is that the location is awesome, especially if you work anywhere near big tech, biotech, the biotech cluster in South San Francisco. It's very central, everything. So it's walkable with a ton of restaurants because it's right smack in kind of the downtown San Francisco, South San Francisco corridor. Easy access to like the BART station, and they're building, I think, a Caltrain kind of bridge, so make it easier over the next few years. And what's really cool about this one is the amenities. Like it has a shared open space that you saw through the picture, and it has like two kind of clubhouse rooms. One is like a rooftop deck kind of setup, and the one is a clubhouse room that you can rent out. So you're gonna have plenty of space for housing guests, as you can see of that open space there, right in the center of the courtyard. Really, really cool setup. Lots of options available. Of course, if you or of anyone that's considering to move into a brand new condo, reach out to me. Happy to help, and we can help you with different options, and so you know what to expect when it comes to this community. Last but not least, let's jump into the market updates itself. Things have changed quite a bit, and it really depends on the area. So, for example, San Mateo County is what we see here. 186 new listings, 130 contingent pending this week. But look at the figures. I mean, this is a surprise, actually, in my mind. I don't think it'll be this low. As you can see, it had picked up from what it was last time. But it has certainly dropped quite a bit in San Mateo County. You can see how quickly things rose up until June 2021, and it had a pretty steep decline over the last few months. So something to be mindful of when it comes to single family home and the opportunity that there is. I think a big part of this is because everybody's return to work is going to be in January. And so because of that, there may not be as an immediate need to buy something at this stage. I don't think it'll keep declining like this. I think it will probably rise up. But let's take a look at what it is next week and as we end the month of September. However, the condos and townhome market is a different story. You can see it's been still higher than it was previous months. Not as high as August, but interesting, August was the highest time. So something to be mindful of if you're looking at condos and townhomes in San Mateo County. Santa Clara County, 509 new listings. This equals and is equivalent to what it has been week by week. We had a big drop last week due to the long weekend. Different story, as you can see, with Santa Clara County. A lot more consistent. The last 3 months have been very consistent in terms of prices. So something to be mindful of. Very predictable. It's not a hot market as you saw in the beginning headline article, but it still will move fast. Condos and townhomes, very, very mild. Very mild increase. Been fairly predictable in terms of what they would be going for. Alameda County. Alameda County, look at this. The last 5 months been relatively flat. It's maybe a mild decline. Plenty of new listings that come on the market every week. A good amount that goes contingent pending, but very predictable. Very, very predictable when it comes to what prices will go for in Alameda County. San Francisco, so far a decline 10 days into September in terms of single family. Similar trajectory and trend of San Mateo County. So something to be mindful of when it comes to the opportunity there. And then when you look at condos and townhomes, it had also declined over the last few months, but it hasn't been very steep one way or another. As you can see, if you compare this to even in February, it's about the same amount. So condos depends on the area, right? If you're looking in downtown, it's not selling as fast. If you're looking at other, popular areas, whether it's like Mission Bay, Russian Hill, places like this, has been moving a little bit faster, but nothing too drastic. This will vary a lot just depending on, what exactly sells, but nothing crazy, so fairly predictable. We'll look at two more. Contra Costa County. Contra Costa County has had a general decline from May was the highest point to, August was the lowest. Looks like it has picked back up in September. I suspect it'll probably be roughly around the same as we end the year. Condos, townhome, very predictable, very flat. Marin County, this was by request. Not a lot of transactions happening in Marin County. You can see over the months. You can see over the months like the changes. If you look at we haven't done this in a while, but if you look at the July figures, it actually keep increasing in July. August was kind of interesting. I wonder if a lot of the fires had made an impact in terms of interest levels there. I think it's still a very popular destination for a lot of people to eventually want to, or people that want like a remote kind of home, or could be a secondary home. However, when it comes to the August figures, it's very interesting of that steep decline. But you can see September has already picked up. There's not a whole lot of condos and townhomes in general. You can see there's 730 over that time period. So just really not a lot, but there's a few that may work out. But most people elect for like single family homes. But the volume there is significantly less. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you or anyone you know has any questions about the local market, about any of the articles that I've shared, or you have any questions, please reach out anytime. I do this show every week so I can bust myths about how quote unquote hot the market is. List price does not mean the list price to sell price does not mean the health of the market. It just is a marketing tactic. You seeing what has sold is the key indicator altogether. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.